Hello everyone, my name is Teodora. I am 28 years old and I've been trying to do a YouTube video, a YouTube channel for a long time now. I've been thinking about it for quite a few years now, but I never really knew where to start, what to start with, and didn't really know how to do it. I will probably talk about some subjects that are not the easiest to talk about and not the lightest, not the best, I would say, but I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, and that's why I plan to do these videos that I will do. At the moment, in my videos, I plan to touch on basically common or not so common life issues that many people do have, but don't really speak about it from both the perspective of psychology view, but also just day-to-day life. Today, honestly, I kind of want to speak about love, relationships, maybe dating, and anything related to this. Obviously, from a perspective of a 28-year-old that has a little bit of experience. Like, I'm not like 20 or in my early 20s and not know much about what I'm speaking. Obviously, you might be saying 20 or 20 something is not a lot. I mean, it's quite a lot to have some experience, but in my opinion, especially because we're not, when it comes to dating and relationships, we're not talking enough about people who are late bloomers, people who just don't really want to date for a while when they're young. Like me, for example, I didn't really care much about dating and relationships until I was like 19. I wanted to focus on my studies, friendships, and family. It is true that part of this is also because I'm coming from a pretty dysfunctional family, unfortunately, so this is one of the reasons why I felt the need to consolidate those relationships more first before getting into a relationship, into a romantic relationship myself. Another thing that people don't speak about a lot is that some people are asexual or demisexual or sapisexual, which is both of them are part of the sexuality spectrum. And since we're living in a society that pretty much promoted hookup culture and casual dating and casual flirting and casual everything, which I'm not a fan of, to be honest. I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm not a fan of it. I never was, and probably I will never be, and that was never my goal. I always thought, when I was young, I thought, okay, I'm not interested right now, but when I will be interested in a relationship, I want something serious, long-lasting, monogamous, where loyalty is the norm, and basically a relationship. I just wanted partnership, basically. I wanted somebody that I can do life with no pressure about marriage or kids. Like, I was 100% patient about those, but I just wanted to know that I'm in with somebody that wants pretty much the same thing. But as we all know, because I am talking from a perspective of a heterosexual woman, because I am heterosexual, and I'm dating guys, obviously, or I have been, because I haven't been dating anyone for a year now, or even over a year now, and didn't speak to anyone, didn't try anything in this year, because obviously last year I had my last deception yet. It was pretty bad. And I just thought, I'm gonna just stay single and detached for a while until I start dating again. A while became a year and I still have absolutely no romantic prospects. I kind of had somebody in mind that maybe, but to be honest, he shows absolutely no interest in me, so I just need to accept the fact that he's probably not interested at all. And just out there living his life, just like everyone else does when it comes to guys. Alright, so basically, yeah, I always wanted something serious, and I was always the type of person that said, okay, I wouldn't mind my first partner to be my last. I'm not here for a lot of experiences. I'm not here for a lot of fun, having fun. I just want, okay, a fun time too, but a long time too, and a good quality time too, not just casual, let's use people like toys and on to the next. Unfortunately, obviously, I think we can all anonymously, not anonymously, but I can't think about the word in English, I'm sorry, because obviously English is not my first language and it's a bit late right now, so I can't really think about unanimously, I think. Okay, we can all agree that guys don't really look for that sort of serious relationships in their young years. And to be honest, I just want to date somebody close my age, not too young, not old. So not a lot younger than me, but not a lot older than me either. So right now, because I'm 28 years old, I wouldn't date somebody, let's say, more than 3 years younger than me, sorry. And then when it comes to older, I would probably not date somebody older than 5 years than me, unless maybe, no, I wouldn't date somebody more than 5 years. Okay, maybe 6 if he's truly, like, obviously similar in thinking like me, because obviously in all these years you become more mature, you even as a guy, because guys obviously mature later than women. That's the truth, unfortunately. I don't make the rules, and I'm not trying to offend anyone with this, but after they get to their 30s, maybe 33, I think guys that are 33 or more are more experienced than me, and because of this they are also more mature. Not to mention that obviously most of them have kids already. I don't have kids, and that's another thing that I would prefer somebody without kids, because if I don't have kids, I think I'm entitled to ask for somebody that also doesn't have kids. Alright, so I was talking about that. Yeah, so basically it was pretty much impossible to find somebody like me. Obviously we need to take into account situations like compatibility, chemistry. Yeah, we need to like each other, that's the truth. Ideally we need to like each other romantically, like having feelings for each other, feeling that attraction not behind, but you know, not only sexual attraction, but also the love attraction. You need to have some feelings for that person, or at least that's what I wanted. I understand that a lot of couples end up just being together because they have common goals about their lives, and a similar view of where they want to go in life, and together with their partner. And let's say they are planning to get married in 2 years, and have kids in 3 years from when they meet, and they know exactly this is what I want. I don't want to wait anymore because I have I don't know, 28, 30, 32-year-old, and I cannot wait any longer. I kept on trying, I kept on failing, and I don't want to wait any longer. And that's why they get together. Maybe they don't love each other very much. Maybe they are not extremely attracted to each other, but they have these common goals and they get together. So that's a compromise. There are some things that I could compromise on, but until now, I really didn't want to compromise on this, on having feelings for the person that technically I will end up with. And I still can't really compromise on this. I need to have at least a little bit of feelings for the person that I'm dating. Otherwise, I just tend to stay single. And to be honest, I've been single pretty much my entire life, except for 2 years in which I had a situationship. That's the closest that I had to a relationship, and that was happening that ended like 5 years ago. So since then, obviously I tried to date, but nothing really progressed past a few dates, and that was pretty much it. Now, maybe I should mention that that for me is a talking stage, and I do not sleep with anyone in the talking stage. So I didn't give them what they wanted, because it was pretty obvious what they wanted, and that's why I usually never heard about them again. They went somewhere easier, because men say they don't like easy, but they do, most of them. And that's it. I just been forgotten and nobody cared about me anymore. It is what it is. Now, maybe I seem to be quite like it is what it is, but I'm not gonna say it was easy. It did hurt. I did have a few heartbreaks about that, and I did gain a lot of cynicism because of this. And I don't really believe in love anymore, although I'm open and I'm pretty much yearning for it, not gonna lie. But right now, even though I think you can tell from my tone that I am quite disappointed, and even now I don't feel my best. Right now I do believe in love a little bit more than I used to, like 2 or 3 months ago, when I just didn't believe in it anymore. For some reason, I don't know why, I always tend to want to get into a relationship in January or the beginning of the year. Some people want somebody for Valentine's Day or for the holidays, like the winter holidays. Those were gone, and I didn't really want somebody as much as I do in January for some reason. It's known that January is quite a depressive month, and maybe a lot of people also feel lonely in January, and I guess I'm one of them. Now, to be honest, I might come across as being a bit needy, or I don't know. Now, because I wasn't like this all of my life, because people tend to say, oh my god, you have so much baggage, la 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 la. I haven't been like this all my life, right? So it's not baggage, it's just disappointment, and it's only taking one good person and one good relationship to make it all go. To make it all go out of the window. And yeah, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just playing with 2 little hair ties. They are very thin, and I like to always keep my hands busy with something. That's why I'm doing this all the time. When I was younger, I used to play with my keys, and there's that round thing that you keep the keys on, and even accessories on them, for whoever does it. I didn't have accessories, just the keys. Okay, so now going back to what I was talking about. So I know that's the situation for a lot of people. I know I'm not the only one. I'm not being here victimizing myself. I'm just trying to say that this thing is literally affecting everyone, because I see a lot of guys complaining online, oh my god, it's so easy for women have it so easy, yada yada yada. No, we don't. We are just as invisible as you, and I don't even think I'm ugly, because if I were ugly, obviously I would understand, okay, I'm looking in the mirror and there's nothing cute that I'm seeing, but I don't think I'm unattractive. Truth be told, I'm a person that thinks and is honest, and guys don't like that. Guys only like you to be honest when you say what they want to hear. If you don't, they will not be honest. If you call them out on their bad behavior, they will not like it. If you call them out on BS that they are doing and saying, they don't like that. They will accuse you of not communicating, but they don't want you to communicate about what they're doing that affects you, that hurts you, that makes you feel like shit about yourself. Now, of course, I might come across as a little bit arrogant, maybe, yes, maybe even a bit aggressive sometimes. But the thing is, we all know guys don't care about that if they like you enough. And yes, I had to learn this the hard way. Yeah, so if a guy likes you enough, nothing really matters. Always remember that, ladies. Nothing really matters. Obviously, nobody liked me enough until now, and nobody really was serious about me, and nobody really wanted something serious with me. So I cannot really speak for myself. Yeah, I have to admit that I did have like 2 or 3 people that really liked me. Like, I cannot stay here and say, oh, absolutely nobody liked me ever, for real. But unfortunately, I just couldn't force myself to feel the same for them, because it is what it is. You either like them or you don't. And I'm aware that probably this was the same situation in my case, but it didn't happen only 2 or 3 times. It happened multiple times with literally everyone that I liked or could have liked. So when I'm saying could have liked, I mean, okay, I meet a guy while living my life, while working, or having a hobby outside the house or anything like that, and we discuss, we just have a conversation and we get along well, and I just think we might be okay together, and he's cute enough for my taste, but it was never really reciprocal. Maybe they did show me some interest, but they came across as F-boys, and that's what they proved themselves to be, because obviously I can't say everything here, but they just went for different people, and they just didn't stop on the same person. They just kept on changing those people over and over again. So yeah, maybe I should be grateful, yeah, because they didn't choose me, and maybe it would have hurt even more if they did. But when you are faced with this situation, it doesn't feel so good for yourself that literally nobody that you liked ever chose you. And I don't feel flattered by sexual interest either, because I am not the type of person, and I don't think I present myself as being that type of person, so I'm not being flattered at all about this. So another thing that I wanted to speak about was being introverted or extroverted, and other similar situations, because I feel like the dating scene is not only the dating scene, but generally the society, to be honest, it's very centered around extroverted people, people's persons and social butterflies. Society doesn't really seem to care much about introverted people and just normal silent people that just live normal lives, that are not extremely popular, that are not extremely they don't have a very high social status, because these things matter too, and not only for girls like guys online say. And yes, I've been rejected or overlooked also because my social status is not high enough for them guys. So yeah, everything, literally everything mattered. Looks, weight, social status, how popular or not popular you are, how popular or not popular you are on social media, how active you are on social media, how much you go out, how much effort you put in yourself when you go out to look in a specific way, how many dresses you wear, how often do you wear dresses or skirts, how much money do you spend on your clothes and accessories, if you drive or not, if you drive, what car, what sort of car you drive, what sort of phone you have, do you have an iPhone or not. And obviously I've been judged for all of this, and I'm pretty sure I've been rejected for at least one, two, or three, a few of these things that I just mentioned. You might be saying now, what are you talking about, Theodora? What weight? Because you are quite slim. Yeah, you look okay. Well, yeah, I'm quite slim, but I was not slim enough for those guys. And also my body is quite has an athletic build, so I look pretty much like an athlete, not like a ballerina or like a model or anything like that, meaning my body tends to look stronger and has more muscular build. I mean, I'm not muscular because obviously I don't weight a lot right now, but I tend to gain muscle to bulk quite easily compared to other girls that have a more delicate build, and guys seem to prefer that delicate build more over an athletic one. Obviously, probably there will be comments in which will say, no, it's not true, la 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 la. I'm speaking from my experience, so it is true. Obviously, I'm not extremely curvy, so guys like curves, and I don't care what people in society will tell you. Yes, guys are this superficial, and yes, looks matter this much. And again, this is another thing that I learned the hard way. Alright, so what else do I want to mention for my first video? I'm sorry that my first video is going to be so serious and so deep and so maybe a little bit harsh when it comes to my attitude, but yeah, truth be told, there was something that triggered me this night, and maybe this is why. Of course, I hope I'm gonna come back with more light-hearted videos, and I'm gonna talk about nicer things, and I hope, just generally speaking, it's gonna be better. But to be honest, I feel more inspired to speak about these issues when I don't feel my best, and right now I don't really feel my best. I'm not at my worst either. I can be even lower than this. I did fail quite low, like a few minutes ago, I would say, maybe half an hour ago, but I had a short conversation with my cousin, and she's understanding of this situation of mine, and she's trying to make me feel better. when I feel really low, bless her, because to be honest, I really needed her and she was there for me, and it matters a lot. Alright, so what I was talking about, this situation with being extroverted. Obviously, when you're more introverted than extroverted, and I am a little bit more introverted than extroverted, I wouldn't consider myself the worst introvert. Like, I am going out sometimes, I am meeting people, and sometimes I even like parties. I can even be the life of the party sometimes, and people tend to be surprised when they see this, or people also tend to be surprised when I tell them I'm actually more introverted than extroverted. So it really depends who you're speaking about, because obviously every person knows you to a specific degree, and it depends how much you trust them and how close you get to them and how much they get to know you. So yeah, I would say I'm 60% introverted and 40% extroverted. So I'm almost an ambivert. This thing matters a lot, because obviously the more introverted you are, the fewer people you meet, and the fewer people you meet, the fewer options you have. And from the fewer options you have, there are even fewer that might be interested in you, and you might or might not be interested in them back. Also, guys these days just don't make the move anymore. I don't know why. They don't even bother to even text you on Messenger or anything, because personally I think that's the easiest solutions, the easiest way. Obviously you can use the typical love react to a story, or maybe just a comment to a story to break the ice. Yeah, guys don't really do that, and to be honest, I don't really recommend girls to do the first step. Obviously you can do it if you want to, if you really like somebody and you know very well that you like him and you would like to, him or her, of course, it doesn't matter who you're dating, which gender, whatever, all inclusive. But the other person, I mean, and I'm talking from a perspective of two heterosexual people, but do apply it however it goes. So if, for example, you're dating the same gender, think about the feminine part of and masculine part. So the feminine energy, to say so, shouldn't do the first step, in my opinion. Why is that? Because women are the ones that bring life on this planet. So considering that women do this, obviously I'm not expecting men to know, because they don't know, but they should at least try to understand that a woman sacrifices a lot to carry the baby, give birth, and take care of it afterwards. Yeah, they might say, oh yeah, men do sacrifices too, yada yada yada, and when they don't do, it's because women leave them, or women don't want them, or they divorce them, etc., etc. No, you just don't try enough, and it's not the same. The baby doesn't grow inside you, putting your own life at risk sometimes. You don't give birth to that baby. Giving birth is the second most painful thing a person can go through after being burnt alive. You men cannot know that. We are expecting at least a little bit of respect and consideration for that. And thirdly, a woman obviously needs to sacrifice a lot more after the children is born, because society still functions mostly on gender roles, more or less. So the woman is expecting to stay home and take care of the babies, and the man, just whenever he feels like to take care of the babies, the man is just expecting to go to work, and when he comes back home, he's still expected to find food prepared or bought or ordered or whatever by the woman. And if he feels like still taking care of the kids a little bit when he's back from work, back to home from work, that's great. If not, the woman should be understanding. That are the societal expectations. So in order for the woman to do this, she needs to sacrifice her entire life that she had pre-pregnancy. She needs to sacrifice her career in many times, because career cannot adapt to your life changes, to you bringing another person on the planet and having to take care of it. And most of the careers cannot accommodate the hours in such a way that you still have your career, even part-time, but still progressing in your career and still take care of the house and the baby. And many women just don't like to be just home and just doing chores and just taking care of the babies all day long, every single day for the rest of their lives. Most women want to have a little bit of life outside of that, and I mean just a job. I'm not talking about dating around or anything like that, like men do. Yeah, but just having a little bit of independence, at least financially. So this is why men should do the first step, because the women will compensate with all the sacrifices later. Of course, men never throughout the history were happy about this. This is why the feminist move even happened. And they will never admit this. Even if it's true, they will never admit this. They will just deny everything. But denying the truth is not going to change it. Okay, so now back to the first step. Also, the person who does the first step is the person who pretty much leads the relationship, if it gets there, obviously, because most of the times guys will actually reject the girl that does the first step. Why? Because she comes across as desperate or too needy, and most of the guys don't like that. And yes, again, I've learned it the hard way. Literally never, and I did make the first move a few times, but it never went well. Never. So this is why, ladies, I would recommend you to leave the guys, let the guys make the first step. Again, getting back to the person that's gonna have the control and lead of the relationship. If you do the first step, especially as a woman, basically whoever does the first step, you just consider, okay, so this person likes me and wants to be with me, so he or she has a clear thing in mind. How do I want this to go? How will I make this happen? How will we be together? What image will this thing get? How will this thing materialize? And whoever does the first step needs to get these things done too, pretty much. So if you do the first step, you will probably plan most of the dates, you will probably make most of the plans for the relationship, how you're expecting it to go, how is it gonna happen, basically, how long will you date before moving in together, what's gonna happen after you move in together, and so on. So obviously everyone is different and everyone has different preferences, they like to do or they don't like to do. So whoever likes to have so much work as a girl, basically this is the guys' work, because they claim to be the leaders, right? So that's what a leader does, leads, does the planning, does the initiations, does the plans, initiate the conversations. Okay, what are we doing, how are we doing, where are we going in the relationship, or even physically when you want to go somewhere. That's the work of a leader. So if you do take the initiative to make the relationship happen, you take on the leader role, which again the guys might not like, because most of the guys want to be the leader of the relationship, the provider, but they don't lead and they don't provide. Obviously, because they say, oh yeah, but you're a modern woman, you want equality, yada yada yada. Okay, equality means 50-50. Equality means 50-50, not that I'm gonna do more than you. But obviously, guys are great at projecting, which means what they accuse women of doing, it's actually what they themselves are doing. So they are accusing women of not wanting to settle down when they are young and beautiful and wanted by men, but they want to settle down when they are 30 and nobody wants them anymore. Dear men, that's what you are doing. None of you wants to settle down in their early 20s, or very few of you want to settle down in their very early 20s with the first girl they date. So if you don't do this, do not expect it. If you want a young woman that's maybe even a virgin, that didn't have multiple partners and so on, you need to do the same. So you need to marry her when she's that young and you're just as young as her, and that's how you get it. Yeah. So you cannot expect yourself to just go around, do whatever you want, have your fun in your early 20s, but women shouldn't do this. So what are we supposed to do? While you're having your fun and you ignore us, the ones that want something serious, what are we supposed to do? Just wait and be virgins until 30s and then still not be wanted because we're 30? I'm just asking, I don't know. I hope there is one manosphere guy that's gonna clarify this for me, because I really don't know. Obviously, they will say you should just settle down with whoever gets your way. And don't be picky at all. Just settle down with whoever wants you when you're young and beautiful and fresh. Obviously, it's not fair, and it's always in the favor of guys, even if they don't want to admit it. So guys will always say, oh, what is so unfair for girls versus women, of girls versus men, I'm sorry. But in reality, like I said, if the woman lives her life and has her fun, or even if she doesn't do it, because if I am telling you I didn't really do this, you're not going to believe me. You're going to dismiss anything anyway. So a woman who just doesn't want to settle down in her early 20s might never settle down if she gets to 30 and is not married yet. But for guys, it's okay. They have never-ending chances in life. Same. There is another situation in which they are. They are also not judged for their body count. We are judged for our body count again, even if it's low. Basically, if it's too low, it's too low. You're not experienced, so let's judge her. If it's high, it's high. Even if it's much lower than his, it's not good. Yeah, that's a lot of things to say about this, but I don't want to get too much into this, especially not in this video. Okay, yeah, I'm chewing my nails, so please ignore me for this. Right now, I just munched on a little bit of my skin around my finger because it was really bothering me. Maybe this is another thing that makes me unattractive for men, who knows? Despite the fact that obviously I'm thinking and I'm saying my mind, and it's not what I want to hear. Okay, so yeah, that's what I was trying to say, basically. Another thing that I want to say, because I did touch on this subject a little bit, was about this, that in reality, relationship or a couple that lasts is between two people that like each other. First of all, we need to begin here, and discuss. They need to discuss absolutely everything. So what are your expectations? Obviously, you need to know what you want, first of all. And many people, both women and guys, don't know what they want, what they truly want for the long term, for all of their lives, in their 20s, in their early 20s. So this is why the majority of the people settle down at 25 or more years old. Also because a lot of us are unlucky and we just cannot find the right person early on in the life. And yeah, we keep on wasting time with people that we shouldn't. But if you don't, how will you find a person? Because again, nobody's gonna come and knock on your door and it's magically your soulmate. Yeah. So yeah, people need to talk, and they need first to know what they want from a relationship exactly, and talk with that person. And they need to have this conversation. Okay, so I want a woman that's a homemaker, that stays home, doesn't work. I'm going to take care of the expenses and all that, and that's what I want. Or I'm okay with having a woman that works, brings money in the house, and we do everything together. We do household chores together, we cook together, we clean together, we work together. And obviously, if you work together, you both contribute in the house with expenses. Obviously, the woman is using this money for herself. Basically, they pay together the bills and the rent, and she pays for her food and so on. So she pays for her expenses. And the man can still treat her sometimes, and vice versa, of course. But obviously, that's a good thing for him because he doesn't have this pressure on him. He doesn't need to work I don't know how much hours overtime to can afford a family, right? Because the woman is helping him with the expenses. And that's why we want equality. And it's better for men too. If you all would know how to deal with it and not be so stubborn, it would be good for everyone. But obviously you would need to do some chores and some cooking and some cleaning, and you don't want to do that. And I understand, because as a woman I don't like to do that all day long every single day, right? So I understand why guys don't want to do it and don't like to do it. I also prefer to work more than doing household chores and cooking all day long. But I'm aware that we need to do that too, right? But we both need to do that too. Because you're eating too, you're doing a mess in the house too. Laundry is for both, so both need to do it. And yeah, before so many people come for me, this is pretty much how it was in my family, because maybe in America, maybe people can survive with just one income. Yeah, I understand they probably need to work 6 days of 12 hours each to maintain a family, but they still can make it with just one salary. Well, that's not the case for everyone in the world, in the entire world, and most of the countries on the globe actually cannot make it in a family with just one salary, no matter how much the poor man is working. So in most of the countries, the economy is in such a way that they need to have two incomes. And this is why women work too. And this is why my parents also needed both of them to work. In my situation, the thing is they kept on balancing things out. So they were moments in which my mom was only staying home to take care of me in the house, and only my father was working, but that was only happening because, first of all, obviously that happened when I was a baby, and they didn't have anyone to take care of me when I was so young. And one more time, it happened for about a year, I think, when I was like, I don't know, maybe 4. So basically, it didn't really work for them because obviously my father wasn't making enough for 3 people, because that's just normal in my country. And I'm from a middle country, so not the most developed one, but not the lowest either. So it's an average country. It's in development, so it's in continuous development, this country. And this is basically the majority of countries in Europe where I am from. So in most of the families, both of them need to work, because most of the people do not have those extremely well paid jobs that make enough to support the whole family. And not only because of this, but obviously my father is a great man, and I know quite a few men in his generation that are just as decent as my father. Unfortunately, I don't know a lot of men in my generation that are just as decent as this man. But my father is a great man, and he just understood that it doesn't really matter if you're a woman or a man. He doesn't care about gender roles. He doesn't care about women and men are not the same. He cares about what truly works. And he noticed my mom wasn't really happy as being a homemaker that was just staying home and taking care of the house and the baby all day long. And he understands that this is a routine that's not good for anyone. And this is why he never minded if she wanted to work. And that's how I grew up, with working parents. And even though I mentioned the family was quite dysfunctional, that was not the reason. That was a different reason that I might speak about in a different video. That was not the reason. That was actually a very good thing in the family. They respected each other, and they respected each other's wants and needs. And it was a need, first of all. Pardon me. It was a need, first of all, because they just couldn't make it with just one salary. And it was a want too, because my mom just didn't find herself in the homemaker role. And there were multiple women that even developed mental health issues because of this routine, and because they had controlling husbands that were just keeping them inside the house, and that was it. Because obviously the internet is full of perfect men that would make woman's life so much better. None of them is ever speaking about so many men who mistreated the women, about DV, about cheating, how much they were cheating on them. Actually, they even find reasons for their cheating, and they always get their part in cheating, and obviously it's always woman's fault somehow. They don't talk about how men just gave them the bare minimum when it came to money to get food and menstrual supplies and stuff like that. I've even seen a guy online saying that if I don't want to give you money for menstrual supplies, I just don't, because it's my money. So this is why we want to work, guys. So we don't see ourselves in this kind of situations. Yeah. So that's the thing. People need to speak, because not all men want a homemaker. you all say you want it, but when you have it, you don't care about her anymore, and you just go somewhere else because you're a man and you're allowed to, and only women are expected to be loyal. For men, we have excuses. Unfortunately, that's one of the main reasons for divorces, because both the Bible and the law say that cheating, no matter who does the cheating, is a good reason for divorce. So as long as two main institutions say this, because obviously the gender roles are based on these two. So if the same institutions say that you're not allowed to cheat, no matter who you are, no matter if you're the guy or the woman, you shouldn't cheat. You don't have an excuse for cheating. The excuse is that you just wanted to cheat, and that's it. And you are a cheap person, a cheap, easy person, and you do not deserve respect. I'm sorry, but that's a fact. Okay. So, I probably covered the most important parts about this. And yeah, just what I wanted to say, that although the amount of men that just want a woman that is just, let's say, submissive enough to just for the man to do whatever they want with her and whenever they want. Most of the men do want somebody like this, that's true, but the best men out there, to be honest, will not want that, and they will actually want whatever makes their women happy, obviously with some limitations, because obviously if the woman says, oh, I'm gonna be happy if you let me sleep with multiple other dudes, obviously he's not gonna be accepting with that. But there's nothing outrageous or exaggerated to want to have a job and have a two-income household, and to want your partner to look after the kids and do household chores and cooking just as much as she does. And yeah, just don't work 12 hours a day, just work 8 and use the other 4 for the family in the house. That's what women want, and I don't think it's difficult. I think men should really think about this more and realize that it's not absurd at all to ask, it's normal. Alright guys, so if you watched it until now, thank you so much for being here, and if you want me to talk more about the subject, or you want to suggest more subjects, leave me a comment please, give me suggestions, ask me questions, anything like that, and I would really love to make another video about based on your questions or suggestions. I can speak more about my experience, life experience generally speaking, not only about this aspect. I was also thinking, because I have quite a little bit of background when it comes to studies and knowledge, so both in institutions and on my own as a hobby. I did study psychology, I did study nutrition and in engineering, so science and food engineering. I didn't do mechanical engineering, so this can be interesting. I will probably make videos in the future also about weight loss and how to maintain yourself quite easily, and other things like that, but I'm open to other suggestions too. And thank you one more time for being here, and hopefully I'll hear from you in the comments. See you next time.